Well, this is fun. I'm at 956, so I'm gonna go on Google Trends and talk a little bit about whatever there is to talk about. First, I need to get to Google Trends. Next up is Amarillo. Shit. Hello YouTube, hello Facebook, hello the world over. My name is Morgan Gavin, and this is what's on my mind, and apparently the minds of everyone using Google right now. I cannot find my hat. This bothers me. Alright, so I installed Google Trends, which is kind of stupid. But what's on the minds of today's Americans is this. Tom Hiddleston making out with Taylor Swift. Okay? CNN International says Taylor Swift, 26, and Tom Hiddleston, 35, who is best known for his role in Marvel as Marvel villain Loki, were photographed kissing, holding hands, and walking on a beach with one another. The scoop came courtesy of The Sun, a popular tabloid. Now, this is going to be absolutely beautiful because, as everyone knows, Tom Hiddleston plays Loki, which is the god of mischief in the Thor universe, and Taylor Swift is known for writing songs about breakups. So, if Tom Hiddleston tricks Taylor Swift into thinking they've broke up when they really haven't, then Taylor Swift will, by logic, be breaking her own cycle of continuity and be writing a non-true song about a breakup that never happened. Oh my God! Loki, work your magic, you sexy beast, you! I'm so stupid. Alright. Next up is Jennifer Aniston wears a bikini on vacation, sparks pregnancy rumors. Oh my! This is stupid. This is really stupid. But according to Vanity Fair, can I live? Kim Kardashian West once asked in a tweet. When it comes to Jennifer Aniston being photographed wearing bikinis, much like Kim in that particular moment, no, Aniston most certainly cannot live. She can't eat, she can't sit, she can't do anything. She can't do anything besides, fuck you. Besides, have washboard flat abs. If heaven forbid she even have the tiniest hint of a stomach, our nation's preeminent sad childless woman is immediately declared as pregnant by the media. For fuck's sake. God, that's stupid. It's weird what goes on in the minds of the majority of Americans. Okay, next up is Oscar Pistorius. Oscar Pistorius removes his artificial legs at sentencing hearing. Well, okay. This one's actually serious. The New York Times. Okay. I'm only reading the first paragraph. Okay. London. Oscar Pistorius. God damn! Holy shit! Oh fuck! Just, oh fuck. Just, oh fuck. That's not Photoshop, folks. Okay, so first, we're gonna watch this. Okay. Then, this was on the New York Times, written by Sul Chan. London. Oscar Pistorius, the Olympic runner, removed his artificial legs and shuffled his way to the front of a courtroom in South Africa on Wednesday, the third day of a hearing to determine his sentence for the 2013 murder of his girlfriend. Trembling and tearful, he rested his right hand on the desk for support as his lawyers pleaded with the judge to sentence him to community service rather than prison. Dressed in a t-shirt and athletic shorts, Mr. Pistorius, 29, was under 5 feet tall without the J-shaped carbon fiber prosthetic legs that earned him the nickname the Blade Runner. It was an image far more humble than that of the world-class athlete who successfully challenged able-bodied athletes. Mr. Pistorius' defense lawyer had asked him to take off his prosthetic legs to highlight the sense of vulnerability they say he felt when acting out of fear and confusion. He fatally shot his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp, early on February 14, 2013, but the tactic appeared to also be meant to generate sympathy from the judge, and a lighter sentence than the 15 years Mr. Pistorius faces for murder. It was the most dramatic moment of the day in a proceeding that both the prosecution and the defense have sought to inject with pathos. A defense psychologist testified on Monday that the athlete was unfit to testify because of a severe mental condition that included symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. On Tuesday, the victim's father, Barry Steenkamp, a diabetic, testified that his grief was so severe that he plunged his insulin syringe into his stomach and arms to see if I could feel the same type of pain, but no. Mr. Pistorius has long maintained that he thought an intruder had entered the home he shared with Miss Steenkamp in Pretoria, and that he had no intention of killing her when he fired 4 shots through a locked bathroom door after she had taken cover inside. It is Mr. Pistorius, the double amputee, and not Mr. Pistorius, the world-class athlete, who should be judged, said one of his lawyers, Barry Rowe. That's all I'm going to read on that one. Very sad case. But again, here's that image of a really sad-looking Oscar Pistorius shuffling his way, not moonwalking, shuffling his way across the courtroom. So that's that story. Okay, what's next? Filibuster. Alright, this is going to be fun. Senator ends 14-hour filibuster after agreement to allow gun control votes. Oh shit. I think that's that talkathon that people were yapping about. Okay. First, there's actually a video. It's taking a while to load. Oh, fucking me. Alright, here we go.
Mr. President, I want to close by telling a story that I told during my first speech on the floor of the United States Senate. I want to introduce you to Dylan Christopher Jack Hockley, who in this picture is age 6. According to just about everybody who knew him, it was impossible not to fall in love with Dylan Hockley if you met him. He loved video games, he loved jumping on the trampoline, watching movies, he loved munching garlic bread, he had dimples, he had blue eyes, he had this really mischievous little grin. You can see it here wearing one of his favorite shirts. His his beaming smile, it would light up almost any room that he was in. He loved to cuddle, he loved to play tag every single morning at the bus stop with the neighbors. He liked to watch movies, he loved the color purple, he loved seeing the moon. And he loved eating his favorite foods, especially chocolate. He was so proud that he was learning how to read, and he'd bring a new book every day home. He most importantly adored his big brother Jake, who was his best friend and his role model. Dylan's mom, Nicole, who has been a champion in the cause of ending gun violence in this country, always thought that Dylan was, in her words, quote, a bit special, a bit different. She said that he was late to develop speech. He was late to learn how to crawl. There was always a little something about him. You couldn't put your finger on it, she said. He liked bland foods. He only wanted plain spaghetti. He had a habit of flapping his arms when he got excited. He would put his hands over his ears when he heard loud noises. He was diagnosed with autism. But as his father points out, autism is a spectrum and it has many different facets to him. Dylan loved repetition. And he'd watch his favorite movies over and over and over again, the Gruffalo, Wall-E, and he'd find a particular portion of that movie that he loved, and he'd watch that portion. He'd rewind, he'd watch it, he'd rewind, and he'd watch it. His laugh when he watched those favorite portions was infectious. Dylan was struggling with autism as a student at Sandy Hook Elementary School. But he was a special, special boy who was going to turn into a special, special young man. He idolized his brother Jake, but he idolized someone else as well. He idolized a woman named Anne-Marie Murphy. Anne-Marie Murphy was his special education teacher and his personal aide. And over the course of the beginning of his first grade year, they formed a bond, a deep, deep bond that is often hard to form for kids with autism, like Dylan. Their bond was so tight that he had a picture of her on the refrigerator, along with his class. And every day when he'd walk by the refrigerator, he would point to the picture and say, "There's my class, and there's Mrs. Murphy." It meant something to him to have that relationship. And he loved going to school in large part because he knew he had someone there who loved him back. Senator Booker has talked about the expectations that we should have for each other. That expectation of deep, passionate love for each other, Dylan and Anne-Marie Murphy had it. Senator Blumenthal and I got to Sandy Hook Elementary School after most of the families had come to realize that their loved ones weren't coming back, that their little boys and girls were probably lying on the floor of those classrooms. And we still saw and heard things that I think we both wish we didn't hear and see. But when Nicole Hockley was standing in or outside the firehouse, when she came to the slow, awful, crippling realization that her little boy was not coming back, she had a moment where she thought to herself, maybe Anne-Marie will come back and she'll tell me what happened to my little boy. And then she had a second thought, that Anne-Marie probably wouldn't leave Dylan if he was in danger. When Adam Lanza walked into that classroom and aimed his military-style assault weapon with clips attached to it holding 30 bullets, Anne-Marie Murphy probably had a chance to run or to hide or to panic. And instead, Anne-Marie Murphy made the most courageous decision that any of us could imagine. Instead of running, instead of hiding, instead of panicking, Anne-Marie Murphy found Dylan Hockley and embraced him know why we know that? Because when the police entered the classroom, that's how they found Dylan Hockley, dead, wrapped in the embrace of Anne-Marie Murphy. It doesn't take courage to stand here on the floor of the United States Senate for 2 hours or 6 hours or 14 hours. It doesn't take courage to stand up to the gun lobby when 90% of your constituents want change to happen. It takes courage to look into the eye of a shooter and instead of running, wrapping your arms around a 6-year-old boy and accepting death as a trade for just a tiny little itty piece of increased peace of mind for a little boy under your charge. And so this has been a day of questions. And so I ask you all this question. If Anne-Marie Murphy could do that, then ask yourself, what can you do to make sure that Orlando or Sandy Hook never, ever happens again? With deep gratitude to all of those who have endured this very, very late night, I yield the floor.
There's nothing to add to that. I wish there were. I wish there were. Senate Democrats ended a nearly 15-hour filibuster early Thursday after Republican Party leaders reportedly agreed to allow votes on 2 proposed gun control measures. Senator Chris Murphy, a goddamn fucking hero, a Democrat from Connecticut, said that a compromise had been reached. Votes would be held on whether to ban people on the government's terrorist watch list from obtaining gun licenses and whether to expand background checks to gun shows and internet sales, he added. We did not have that commitment when we started today. Next up is Amarillo. Next up is Amarillo, Texas. Disgruntled Walmart worker killed after taking employees hostage. Reported by KFDT. There's a lot of fucking madness going on today. This was written by Garrett Zamora, who's the digital contact manager. Amarillo, Texas, KFDA. A Walmart employee upset over a missed promotion took his manager and another employee hostage Tuesday before he was fatally shot by police. According to the Amarillo Police Department, the APD. Authorities have identified the employee as 54-year-old Mohammed Maghadam. and cited the promotion dispute as a strong motive for the hostage situation that eventually led to his death. An early investigation has led police to believe that Moghadam entered the store located near I-27 in Georgia around 11 a.m. and fired at least one gunshot toward the ceiling. He then forcibly took the manager into an office in the back of the store, possibly belonging to a second employee who was also held hostage. Shortly after, multiple police agencies from across the area quickly responded to the scene. Personnel from APD, Department of Public Safety, the Randall County Sheriff's Office, and others blocked off the surrounding area to motorists as they secured the area. SWAT officers entered the Walmart shortly after noon and found one of the hostages uninjured near the office. The tactical team made their way inside the office and reportedly found an armed Moghadam and the manager inside. Moghadam was then shot by two SWAT officers and is believed to have died immediately. Neither of the hostages have suffered injuries. Officials say that two SWAT officers have been placed on administrative leave per normal protocol. Further investigation into the incident is ongoing. A spokesperson for Walmart released the following statement Tuesday afternoon. As soon as we heard about the situation at our store in Amarillo, Texas, we acted immediately. All customers and our two associates who were held hostage were safe. This was a very difficult situation. We are thankful for the quick response from law enforcement. For customers inside the store, the situation was a sobering reality. Tara Aguilar said she was walking inside the Walmart when a gunshot was fired and the store was locked down. I just can't believe it would happen here, Aguilar said. Whether it be an employee or whatever, I mean, you just never know what's going to happen. Fucked up. Fucked up. Alright, ABC News. More Orlando stuff. Okay. New details emerge about Orlando nightclub shooter by Julia Jacob from ABC News. New details. Oh, screw you, Fly. Actually, this deserves its own video. New details have emerged about Omar Mateen, the 29-year-old man who authorities say killed 49 people and injured 53 more at a gay nightclub in Orlando early Sunday. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement and Indian River State College in Fort Pierce, Florida, have released several records connected with Mateen, potentially shedding some light into his life before authorities say he committed the worst mass shooting in U.S. history. Mateen wrote that he had background in law enforcement, working as a correctional officer, trainee, and security officer in 2006 and 2007. Mateen also wrote that he applied to become a Florida State Trooper in 2011. When he was a freshman in high school, Mateen was sent to an alternative school after he got into a fight with a fellow student. He wrote in a questionnaire for the Indian River State College Criminal Justice Training, damn, a lot to say, which he filled out on November 19th, 2014. It is unclear what the fight was about. In his employment history, Mateen, who said he had a degree in criminal justice from IRSC, wrote that he had worked at Marin Correctional Institute in Indianatown, Florida as a correctional officer, and cited the reason for leaving as probationary dismissal. On the questionnaire, Mateen said that in 2006 he was on a ride-along with a police deputy in St. Lucie when the patrol car hydroplaned and got wrapped around the tree. In a portion of the questionnaire dealing with drugs usage, Mateen answered yes to have using cannabis or marijuana and steroids. He wrote that he did not drink alcohol, the documents say. Mateen checked yes to a question that asked if he had ever been arrested, charged, or received a notice or summons to appear, convicted, pled nolo condere, or pled guilty for any criminal violation or detained by any law enforcement agency. There was no further explanation on the form. Mateen also checked yes to a question asked if he had ever committed or been involved in an undetected crime of any type, such as drinking, petty theft, shoplifting, or stealing from an employer. Again, there was no further explanation. Mateen said he had some sort of criminal record sealed or expunged, but no explanation was provided as to what the record was. Early Sunday, Mateen entered the Pulse nightclub in Orlando and began shooting at random with an AR-15 style gun. Officials say the ordeal lasted more than 3 hours and included a shootout with police and Mateen taking clubgoers hostage. Mateen was shot and killed, thankfully, by police. And here's a picture of the sad, sadistic bastard with his wife and child, presumably. A marriage license shows that Mateen has been married to his wife, Noor Salam Mateen, since September 29th, 2011. Investigators are trying to determine if she knew something in advance about the attack. Noor Mateen claims she tried to talk her husband out of it, a law enforcement official told ABC News. The marriage ceremony was performed in Berkeley, California, after the couple met online. A family member of Noor Mateen told ABC News. It is unclear on what website the couple met. Her parents were born in Palestine, the marriage license shows. Now we go to Iceland. This is from Euro 2016 and was written by Paul Doyle. Cristiano Ronaldo is the person with a small mentality, not the Iceland players. We recommend Ronaldo take a long, hard look at himself in the mirror if we didn't know that he already spends several hours a day doing exactly that. One week in, and Euro 2016 has already delivered some interesting ironies. The most spectacular one being Cristiano Ronaldo complaining about over-celebration after Iceland enjoyed taking a point against Portugal on Tuesday night. We'd recommend Ronaldo take a long, hard look at the mirror himself if we didn't know that he already spent several hours a day doing exactly that. I thought they'd won the Euros the way they celebrated at the end. It was unbelievable. Complain a man who thinks the successful conversion of a penalty is ample reason to launch into a full Chippendales routine. When they don't try to play and just defend, this is, in my opinion, shows a small mentality, and they are not going to do anything in the competition, continued Ronaldo, who should know more than most what a ludicrous statement that was. But maybe in the murk of disappointment, even this most self-aware of footballers forgot where he came from. Fucking Iceland. When or if he reflects more deeply on Iceland's feat, the man from Madar, he's from Madar, Madar made him, might appreciate the work that went into getting players from a remote island to mingle successfully with the elite. For Iceland, as for Ronaldo, it has taken exceptional dedication, a powerful and clear-headed determination to develop natural talent to the highest possible degree. For Ronaldo, that has been hours of work with coaches and by himself on pitches and in gyms. For Iceland, it has meant training coaches and building pitches and gyms. That's all I'm going to read on that. Alright. Next up is Zelda Breath of the Wind. God damn it. Go. What the fuck is this bullshit? What? That's... No. Go fuck yourself. Sorry. I was having a bit of an issue. Seven Ways Breath of the Wind is reimagining the Legend of Zelda series. Finally, after years of waiting, holy shit, that is fucking beautiful. Nintendo revealed gameplay for the highly anticipated The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, dedicating a vast majority of its E3 2016 livestream solely to the game. We got several in-depth looks at Breath of the Wild throughout the day and learned a ton of new info about the game. Here's everything you need to know about Zelda Breath of the Wild. Actually, that fucking deserves its own video. Fuck it. Here's everything you need to know about the upcoming title, which will come out in March 2017 for the Wii U and the Nintendo NX. Link awakens and has a tablet! The first gameplay session of the day showed the opening moments of the game. Link wakes up in a strange contraption in a chamber called the Shrine of Resurrection. More on this later. The area features strange sci-fi-like equipment that differs from the sort of thing we've seen in previous Legend of Zelda games. Link is beckoned by a female voice, introducing us to the first full voice acting we can remember in a Zelda title. Link receives a device called the Sheikah Slate, which bears a fleeting resemblance to a stylized Wii U tablet controller. It acts as your inventory management system, map, and quest tracker in the game. Breath of the Wild, its minimal HUD, is a departure from its recent titles in the series, especially Skyward Sword, which bombarded the player with information cluttering the screen and explained exactly where to go and what to see. Breath of the Wild, on the other hand, shows only important information, like a mini-map and a health meter and minimalist icons for equipping items. A stamina gauge appears contextually to inform how much you can climb, sprint, or jump. Yes, you can jump in this game! Hallelujah! Otherwise, the screen is open and free of clutter. Gameplay is trumping the story like never before. My giant forehead! I'm actually really self-conscious about this. Once Link exits the cave, the story takes a backseat. From there, you will be able to explore and play at your own pace, creating your own adventure. Of course, there will be story to follow. But if you wish to discover the secrets of Hyrule instead, you're free to do so. This is a new direction for the series, which had become more directed and focused for the last 2 decades. Breath of the Wild takes the Legend of Zelda back to its roots in terms of open-ended, non-linear exploration and gameplay. It's so open, in fact, that the game can be completed without seeing the entire story, let alone completing every challenge. Challenge accepted. This is the Hyrule to rule them all. Breath of the Wild's version of Hyrule is truly massive. The open area of the game was the focus of the demo. Itself an enormous section of the game with numerous landmarks on the horizon, and a seemingly endless amount of stuff to do. Stuff to do! And explore, but the entire map was teased, and it looks massive! Its many areas and dungeons are open to be explored and tackled in any order. There are also 100 shrines, smaller puzzle-filled locations separate from the usual dungeons, that can be completed in whatever order you wish. Of course, you can travel either by foot or by horse, or by climbing anywhere and everywhere in the game world. This is a change from past Zelda games, which restricted you to only certain areas within strict boundaries. Furthermore, Link will go exploring alone. What the fuck? You forgot a goddamn word. Link will exploring alone. What the fuck kind of sense is that? You're describing the most epic game imaginable. Link will exploring alone? Shame on you for disgracing your article with that one typo. There is no Navi or Midna-like character helping guide you, except for amiibo pets, which we discussed below. You're free to play as you wish! The world isn't just big though, it feels alive. Time and weather change dynamically as the demo was played, and enemies behave differently based on the time of day. For example, when night falls, moblins may fall asleep, while style foes emerge from the ground. In colder environments, Link will need to equip heavier clothing to protect himself against the elements. But while players must be mindful of their surroundings, they can also manipulate the environment themselves. Bombs can be used to destroy obstacles. You can set fire to tall grass. You can use objects like boulders or explosive barrels to take out enemies. This opens up sandbox-like possibilities, such as setting up traps or creating bridges by felling trees with an axe. As you explore, you'll come across various items and materials to collect, such as ores and tree branches. We assume this means there is a crafting element to the game. Crafting! Some items, such as apples, meat, mushrooms, and vegetables, can be eaten or cooked to replenish health. This replaces collecting hearts to replenish health that all previous Zelda games have featured, and adds a level of realism to the new that is new to the series. Because nothing says realism like grabbing a fleshy beating heart off the ground and jamming it into your mouth like some kind of weird dwarfish vampire. That's where I'm ending the video, because there is so much more to read. Oh, yes.